Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 21 of my Create This Book series by me and Moriah Elizabeth. It's been a long time since I've done any prompts in this Create This Book, so I'm really excited to get back into it. It is looking really full and it's almost finished. I want to finish it by the end of this year, but I don't think that's even possible. But I'm going to be doing 4 more prompts today, so let's get into it. The first prompt of today is to create a page of notes. So I'm supposed to take notes on something mundane. So I've decided to do it on the season, and it is currently almost fall, which I'm super excited about. So I decided to grab some pieces of paper and fold them together to create a sort of mini book. And with this mini book, I want to make a composition notebook because that is so cute for taking notes. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just decorating the front and back cover of a composition notebook right now, which actually took a lot of work. So first I colored in the spine of the book black, and then it was time to actually make that little inside layout that has the little composition notes thing. And so I cut out this little template here, that way I could make it all symmetrical. And now it was time for the torturing task of adding in a million tiny dots all over the page to make it look like a composition notebook. And this took forever to add in all of the dots to make it actually look like it was supposed to, but it was so worth it because it came out looking like this cute little mini composition notebook, which was the goal and was the vibe. And now it's time to do that inside part I was talking about before, where I just added in the little note section and wrote composition on the front to make it look like a real notebook. And then I had a massive brain fart, and I was so excited to be done with making all of those little tiny dots. So I started working on the front cover and just finishing up that little section, and I completely forgot that I still had to do all of the dots on the back side of the notebook. So I was a little bit bummed out when I realized, oh, I still have to do all of this process again, but even more this time since there's no blank space in the middle. But anyway, after I finished decorating the front, it was time to move on to the back, which I again repeated the process of adding in a million tiny little dots to make it super cute. And again, it was worth it. Look how cute this is looking, just like a real little mini composition notebook. So I thought this was super cute, but I wanted to make it even more fall and even more stylized. So I decided to add in some old sticker designs onto this composition notebook to make it look like it was decorated with some fall stickers. So I'm just adding in some stickers from this fall sticker sheet here and putting them all over this composition notebook to make it look super cute and decorated for the fall season. And I think this just added the perfect touch of personality to the composition notebook. It was already cute before, but now it's spooky cute and fall cute, which makes it way cuter. So I'm loving how this looks, and I think this was so fun. And this was only one page of little stickers, which covered the entire thing. So I thought it turned out so cute, and now it's time to actually decorate things for the inside and actually take the notes. For the actual notes inside of the book, like I said, I want them to be fall related because fall is on the brain, and I want to take notes about fall, but I decided to be more specific and do autumn habits. So I decided to draw out all of these things that we like to do during the fall season, like carve jack-o'-lanterns, watch scary movies, those kind of things, and just make a documentation of all of those fall traditions that we have when this season rolls around. Fall is one of my favorites, so I just felt like this would be a really cute and fun way to capture some of those things that just make fall so much fun. Comment down below what your favorite fall thing to do is. It can be something as simple as drinking a pumpkin spice latte to some extravagant Halloween tradition that you guys have. Let me know what your favorite thing to do is around this time of year. And now it's time to continue drawing out all of these sketches. I just wanted to fill this page completely with all things fall and make it feel completely loaded with all of the things that make it so fun. I even drew out little vampire teeth since we like to dress up on Halloween and have fun in costumes, so I felt like it'd be fun to add a little nod to monsters in there too. And then I also drew out a cute little sweater because you know when fall comes around, everybody's breaking out their cutest sweaters, especially with little patterns on them. I see cute sweaters all the time that I'm so jealous of because they are so cute and so fun. I love a good Halloween and Christmas sweater. And then finally, the last thing I drew out was some cozy socks because it's so fun to just be so cozy when it's so cold outside and when things are getting a little bit chilly and spooky. After I sketched out all of my designs, it was now time to actually outline everything. That way it could be ready to be colored in. I was so excited and looking forward to putting in all of the fall colors and really transforming this page. But first I have to outline everything, which is a really fun and satisfying process, but it also takes a really long time to be super neat with the lines. But with my style, since I really like to do the line art, it's really important to take the time and do it right, because otherwise if you have sloppy lines everywhere, that doesn't really make for a complete piece. So I took some time to really make sure that I outlined everything the way that it should be, and was looking super nice and crisp and ready for all of the fall color explosion that I have going on soon. It was really hard though for me to do the line art patiently because I was really looking forward to just coloring it. I feel like it's been so long since I've colored anything in with my Ohuhu markers, so I'm really looking forward to using them on this project, and I cannot wait to again see this page come to life with all of those fun fall colors. I just think it's really going to transform this page and make it the spooky fall note vibe that I'm going for. So after I outlined everything, then it was time to erase the pencil underneath and finally get started in with those colors. I started by coloring in the spooky movie Scream face, and I just did a very basic colors for that. I just did all this dark gray kind of black color and then did a little bit of shading, and next for the monster teeth I just added in a little bit of shading as well. But now I can finally get into some real colors. I decided to add some contrast to everything else by making the socks this special green. I knew I was going to be using a lot of oranges, and even though green isn't the complementary color of orange, I just knew it'd be nice to have a little bit of a breakup in the orange color. So now it's time to start working on some of that orange by starting on the pumpkin spice latte. So I decided to go ahead and color in all of my base colors and add cute little sprinkles of spice on top, and then after that I colored everything in using these oranges and yellows to make it all look super pretty and fall, and I even added more of that yellow color on top to kind of blend everything in. After that it was time to add in some shading to the white, and I wanted to add in a touch of green just to make it all look a little more matchy before going over and working on this jack-o'-lantern, which is super cute and fun. I decided to go in with this terracotta color and then cover the rest with orange just to give a little bit of shading but not to overwhelm anything. And I did the inside yellow like it was being lit up by a candle, and I even added little shadows to make it look like it was carved. For the most part, I kept all of the coloring pretty simple. I would add one or two different colors and do a little bit of blending, but I really kept it pretty basic because I didn't want to overwhelm the drawing. I knew there was so much going on already that I felt like if I added in too much detail or texture, it would get a little bit crazy and wild too fast and your eyes wouldn't really know where to go. So I decided to just keep it super simple and do a little bit of shading every once in a while, but for the most part just kept it basic with some flat colors. This sweater was super fun to color in because it had a whole bunch of different fall colors in it. I used 2 shades of red, some oranges, and even this dark yellow mustard fall color, which was just super fun, and I feel like it came to life. The most blending I did was on this leaf, where I tried to make a fall leaf, but I didn't want to choose one leaf color for some reason, so I chose to do all of the different stages a fall leaf might have. So I added in green, yellow, orange, and red to this leaf, which was really crazy to blend, but I think it all blended together pretty well, and it was super fun to do. After everything was colored in, it was time to add a shadow to everything, give it all a little more life and make it connected. I also added in some yellow details and highlights everywhere to make things stand out, and then to connect everything a little bit more, I added in a whole bunch of dots all over the page, and then went a little bit crazy and overboard with the sparkles because that is just my personality. And then after that I decided let's add more, let's add in some gold gel pen. I don't know who was talking about not overwhelming the drawing before, but here it is, and I love the gold accents, especially the stars on the socks. But now it's time to put it all together, so I corner rounded the edges, and now it's time to look at it. So here's the front and back with the cute little sticker decorations, which I think added so much to it. And here is the inside of Autumn Habits. So again, let me know what some of your autumn habits are and what you like to do during the fall, but we'll take a look at that one again later. But for now, let's move on to the next prompt, which is to create a profession. So I'm supposed to come up with some type of job that's not real and that's a little bit wacky, and since I'm on the fall kick, something immediately popped into my mind. I absolutely love carving pumpkins. It is so much fun, and I love to see them all lit up on Halloween night with the cute little spooky faces. But I, like most, think that the pumpkin gutting process is a little bit hard and painful. So I thought it'd be a really fun idea to come up with the job of a pumpkin deseder. Because wouldn't it be so nice if you could just buy a pumpkin that was just immediately ready to carve and you didn't have to scrape all of the guts out so that you could put a candle inside? I think so. So that's what I'm trying to draw here and come up with. I decided to sketch out all of the different parts of a pumpkin after it's been deseeded and degutted. So I decided to draw out the lid that was cut off and then also draw out all of the guts and seeds that come out from the inside of the pumpkin that somebody would hopefully remove for you in this job. So after I sketched and outlined my entire design, it was now time to go in with the colors, which I was super excited about because, as you can tell, I have been on a huge fall kick, and since this is all orange, since pumpkins, I was so excited to use this color because what is a more fall color? Like, actually name one. I can't. I think orange is such a fall color, so I was so excited to be able to color in this entire pumpkin orange, and it was super easy and relaxing since I didn't have to think about colors too much, since I knew it was all going to go together, since every single part of a pumpkin pretty much is orange. So this made it super fun and easy to color in. I did add some yellow underneath the orange to kind of make it a little bit warmer and brighter in some areas to add a little bit of shape and roundness to the pumpkin, but I think it turned out so cute. And then after I colored in all of the pumpkin parts on the base and the lid, then I colored in these cute little leaves as well. I decided to add to the sketch, and then it was time to finally color in the pumpkin guts, which was a lot of fun. And I think this job is just super funny. I think it would be so funny to have a pre-gutted pumpkin that was just ready to carve. I don't actually think that taking the guts and seeds out of a pumpkin is that challenging, but sometimes you're just so eager to carve something, and by the time you've used up all of your energy to scrape out the guts of a pumpkin, you're just kind of done and you don't really want to do the design anymore. So I think it would allow for more room for the creative process, but I added in some gold gel pen because I'm crazy, and then after that I cut it out and decided to tape it into the book in a very specific way. I wanted it all to be assembled together and then for you to actually be able to perform the job of a pumpkin deseder. Now this is a lot easier on paper, but here it is, and now it's time for the next prompt, which is to create a test. So I'm supposed to test the difference between your right and left hand. Not yours, but mine. So for this side, I'm using my right hand, and of course I decided to draw out a pumpkin because why break theme now? I'm just going with fall all the way. So I just sketched out this super simple pumpkin design. I didn't want to do anything too complicated since I knew my poor left hand was going to have to do it next. So now here is my left hand, and it's already off to a pretty shaky start, but it's actually not as bad as I thought it was going to be. I'm definitely taking a lot more time and being a lot more slow with this side though, and with this process, and it's a lot more messy. Like, I'd say this looks like maybe kindergarten level, where the other one looks a little bit neater. But here's the right side and here's the left, and I think it turned out pretty good. I'm actually pretty impressed, but still, you can definitely tell that was my left hand. And now it's time for the last prompt of the day, which is to create a playlist. So for this one, I grabbed a whole bunch of tiny squares and my new Halloween Queen stickers, and I decided to use these Halloween Queens to decorate this page with some fun little squares that kind of looked like album covers, and I thought that would be such a cute idea. So I'm decorating a square for each Halloween Queen that will kind of look like a fun little spooky music playlist. I definitely had the Monster Mash song playing in my head, which was pretty funny, but it makes sense since they're all kind of monsters. But anyway, I just decided to decorate the backgrounds with a pattern that would match the character. So like this ghost is blue, so I made the background entirely blue, added in some sparkles, and here is the first design. And now it's time for the next one, which was for the pink pumpkin. So I decided to make a light pink background and add in a whole bunch of stars and then add in the pumpkin on top. And to make it even cooler, since the necklace of this one is gold, I added in some gold outlines around the pumpkin queen to make it a little bit more interesting and fun and shiny, of course. And then after that, it was time for the orange pumpkin. I decided to add in some stripes, which I then covered up anyway with this orange color. So I added in more stripes with this darker orange so you could actually see them. And then for this one, I put down the pumpkin queen and added in some gold lines as well. And then for the next design, which is the purple Frankenstein, I decided to do a little bit more fun of a design with this one. I added in some checkers that would match the pattern of the dress that she's wearing, and then I also added in some lines the other way as well. And I decided to add in some lightning bolts since, you know, Frankenstein was created with lightning. So then I felt like that would just be super fitting and cute and sparkly. And for the last design, I wanted to do something different, so I decided why not some dots. So I made this background red and completely spotted all over the place, and then I colored it in with a deep shade of red to make it all blend in, and then I put her on top of the spooky spots. And then it was time to corner around all of the drawings. I wanted to just make them look a little bit less like paper and a little bit more like album covers, so I just decided to round the corners, and here's how they all turned out. It's mostly focusing on my stickers, which you can shop on my website at anchoredartdesigns.com. They are my Halloween queen designs, so I wanted to really emphasize them, but I also think the patterns are really cool and make them pop out even more. So now it's time to actually put them into the book. So for that, I just decided to put them in overlapping each other, and to kind of make them look really cool, I wanted to add more to the page, so I added in some names to all of them and also some outlines as well to try and make it look a little more cohesive and together. And then I even added in some gold gel pen on this one because why not? And here is how this page turned out with all of my spooky Halloween queens, and I think this page turned out so cool, and it just reminds me of a whole bunch of different Halloween songs. But here's a look back at the first prompt of the day, which is to create a page of notes. So I made this adorable Halloween and fall composition notebook, which I think turned out so cute by adding in my stickers as well. And then I also decorated the inside with some autumn habits and added in a whole bunch of color using my hoo-hoo markers. And let me know what some of your autumn habits are and what you like to do during the fall. The next prompt was to create a fake profession, so I decided to make the job of a pumpkin deseder, so that way you can just get straight to the pumpkin carving and you don't have to worry about taking out all of those nasty guts all by yourself. And I think this one turned out so cool, especially since you can assemble and disassemble it. For the next prompt, I created a test by using my right hand to draw a pumpkin and then my left hand, and you could definitely tell that that one was my left hand, but they both turned out pretty cute. And finally, here is the last prompt, which was to create a playlist where I used my Halloween queen stickers to decorate this entire page, potentially like a spooky album playlist that you would listen to for fall, and I think it turned out so cute. Let me know which one of these prompts from today was your favorite. If you can't tell, fall was definitely on the mind, and this book is getting really full, but I want to finish it so I can do the Create This Book 3, which I am super excited about. Here's the size comparison, which is pretty crazy. If you haven't already, like and subscribe, and stay tuned to see me create this book 3 and finish the first one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!